Welcome back to the Upside Sports Network. My name is Michael, and welcome back to part 2 of our series on Aaron Rodgers. Where will he be playing next season? Well, we already know he's going to be leaving Green Bay. He's said as much multiple times to different people, and depending on which sources you believe, and it seems like there's quite a few of them out there that believe Aaron Rodgers will no longer be a Green Bay Packer. Now, granted, he's had a great season this year, and they seem to have forgotten all about the offseason. But we all know the second the clock strikes 12, the second this season is over for the Green Bay Packers, with another disappointing playoff exit before the Super Bowl, we'll see Aaron Rodgers once again demand a trade. In part 2 of our series, we focus on the Denver Broncos. Now, the Denver Broncos have played well this year under Vic Fangio, who is on the hot seat to begin the season. But as we've seen with a kind of a journeyman quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater and backups like Drew Lock the last couple of years, they have been missing the number one piece on that team for a little while now. Ever since Peyton Manning has left, it's been a revolving door at that quarterback position. So when they acquire Aaron Rodgers, they immediately solve the number one question mark on that team and look forward to possibly becoming the next Super Bowl champion in the AFC. Looking at the Denver Broncos, we see quite a few weapons on the outside. Jerry Jeudy was a number one pick a couple years ago. We look at the Cortland Sutton. We look at Tim Patrick, Noah Fant in the backfield. You have Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon. Now, whether or not Melvin Gordon's still there with Javonte Williams taking quite a few carries as the season progressed, we'll see if that continues. But it seems like they've got the running game in order. Just like Aaron Jones solidified it in Green Bay, it looks like they'll have a running game going forward. Now, as far as the offensive line in Green Bay, 4 backups this past week. They also had a rookie on that offensive line, and Aaron Rodgers is still commanding that offense and looking like an MVP candidate. Again, Aaron Rodgers requested out of Green Bay. Remember at the draft last year when breaking news happened and Aaron Rodgers says, "Oh no, I want out of here," through his reporters and friends of his, etc., etc. We all remember Adam Schefter coming on NFL draft coverage and saying, Aaron Rodgers wants out, and so out he will get. They fixed his contract in the offseason to where it's only 1 year remaining after this, essentially. So I look for Aaron Rodgers to be dealt. Now, Green Bay, they already have the heir apparent in waiting in Jordan Love. Whether or not you believe he is going to be a successful starting quarterback in the NFL does not matter. They invested a first-round pick in him, and they need to see what they got. They also need to get assets as Aaron Rodgers is getting older, as well as some of the other key players on that team. Devontae Adams is also in a contract year. They could franchise tag him next season, but after that, I expect him to be gone if Aaron Rodgers is no longer there, which, again, I don't expect him to be there either. So what would a trade look like? Well, Green Bay is going to want some young assets back. As I mentioned, Aaron Rodgers is getting older, and Green Bay is going to need to have that quarterback position solved. Whether or not Jordan Love is successful in that, they're still going to need some other lottery tickets for that position if Jordan Love does not pan out. If he does, great, they got extra assets going forward. But if you're a Green Bay Packers executive, you want some youth, you want some draft picks coming back to you. So Denver, you're looking at least 1 first-round pick going back the other way. And as we saw in the other video, I'm expecting at least 2 more third-round picks going back the other way as well. Now, that price could go up, could go down, depending on how the end of the season goes, if he gets injured, if he does end up winning the MVP. Take your pick, but you're at least looking at a 1 and 2 threes, maybe a little bit more. Is Aaron Rodgers worth a first and 2/3 if you're a Denver Broncos fan? Maybe more, maybe less, depending on, again, how the season finishes. If you're a Denver Broncos fan, absolutely. Aaron Rodgers is way better than the revolving door at quarterback that you've had the last few years. Let's just look at the last couple. Teddy Bridgewater, while a very good pro, is not exactly an elite level quarterback. He's serviceable. He's a game manager, can throw the ball down the field and stretch the field at times, but he's not special at the quarterback position like Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, meanwhile, he can make something out of nothing. He's been doing so much with very little talent at the wide receiver position. He's manufactured the talent there and gotten them better throughout the years. And even looking at Devontae Adams, when his career started, he started as an average wide receiver and eventually became a very successful weapon for him, just like Jordy Nelson did over the years. just like Brett Favre before him, they made the best with very little assets. Looking at the Denver Broncos, they already have invested heavily at those skill positions. Melvin Gordon was a first-round pick. Javonte Williams, a second or a third, I believe. You're looking at Jerry Jeudy, first-round pick. Noah Fant, first or a second-round pick. And you're looking at other successful players on the outside as well. Tim Patrick, Cortland Sutton as well was a first-round pick. If you're looking at the Denver Broncos, they've addressed the offensive side of the ball as far as the skill position. Now they just need that number one quarterback. And Aaron Rodgers is significantly better than anything else that the Denver Broncos have had in their stable. Now, other options that they could go to, sure, you could tell me Deshaun Watson, but again, he's had legal issues over the last year. I don't expect him to be a full season participant next season, and he may be a better option going forward for the Denver Broncos long term. But Aaron Rodgers gets them into a win-now situation immediately. They take one of the top 3-4 positions, depending on your opinion of the Denver Broncos roster, as far as the best team in the AFC. But let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Remember to subscribe and like this video, and possibly be featured as our Upside of the Week. Now let's all remember the Brett Favre trade. Brett Favre held the organization hostage for years, and after a while, Green Bay finally had enough, and they decided to ship him out of town. But when the time came, they chose to not send him to the NFC, instead chose to send him to the AFC. They sent him to the New York Jets. Now, the Jets aren't exactly a shining example for success of an elite quarterback trade, but he was still elite the next year when he went to the Minnesota Vikings. That could again be the case here with Aaron Rodgers, where I don't see the Green Bay Packers sending him to an NFC team. AFC, I believe, is the only option for a trade if you're a Green Bay Packers fan about where you might get assets from. If you're a team in the NFC and looking for an elite starting quarterback, don't look to the Green Bay Packers. They may not even take your call for Aaron Rodgers, no matter how many first-round picks you throw at them. Last but not least, I want to mention Aaron Rodgers' ability with his arm in Mile High. Now, Mile High has the thin air, and you have the altitude, and his ball really will travel in that lighter air. So getting those deep plays, the elite explosive plays that this offense hasn't really had with Teddy Bridgewater being a game manager will all of a sudden be in vogue in the Denver Broncos offense. Now, Vic Fangio will still run that defense, and I expect that defense to be very successful. I expect them to draft and try to put assets in there. I do expect them to try to get 1 or 2 free agent signings on the offensive line, depending on how many dollars they have left. Just to assure Aaron Rodgers that they're doing all that they can to show him a successful approach to an offensive scheme, offensive building, offensive game plan, all those kinds of things. But if you're a Denver Broncos fan, you definitely have to be excited about the possibility of Aaron Rodgers coming to your team. How often do you get to add an elite starting quarterback and possibly going to a Super Bowl when you're a middling team the year before? Let me know in the comment section what you think of the possibility of Aaron Rodgers going to the Denver Broncos. If you think he could actually go to an NFC team, tell me what team, tell me what it would actually take, and tell me why it makes sense for Green Bay to actually send him to an NFC team.